All right. Yeah, basically, I wanted to make this video because I've been messing with MIDI files for a long time, and what I've come across is that there's a lot of great information out there and a lot of good pop songs that are out there. I don't know. Let's take Blue Monday. Let's say, for example, classic track. Drop it in here. There are a lot of tracks in this song, right? So if I start playing it, I'm like, okay, this is the drum track, so I'm going to move this down here. I'll take this guy and put him up here. Let me see what else is down here. There's another sub bass, synth bass. You can put it wherever, you know? And so the thing that I always didn't like was that these files, they're assigned to all these different MIDI channels, and if I want to use it with a hardware device or have a bass synth and another synth and a drum machine, it's not always programmed to the right things, and also manipulating this is kind of a drag on Ableton, right? So it has a bunch of tracks here that I don't really want or need. But there's a lot of good songs out there, right? That'd be kind of fun to mess around with. You'll find them and it'll be great, and then there'll be a song that comes along and you're like, oh, this will be a great song. Let's say like this one. It comes in, you find this download, you think you got it, and then it's this. It's one track. It's got all the information in one track. Sure, you can separate some of that out, and you can bring it into a different DAW, and it might separate it for you, but in Ableton it doesn't. And it's just kind of a pain in the butt, right? So now that AI's come out, and I was kind of messing around with making MIDI files with it, and I'll have to tell you right from the start that I am not a coder. I've never written a full Python script ever. I've manipulated them and things like that, but I wanted to find something that I could do that I could either write scripts and not really know that much, just take the information that AI's made with my idea and drop it in something and run it. And I was at first using the terminal, and it was like still very hands-on. And if you're a coder, that's great. If you're not, it wasn't. And then I found about IDEs, and then I found this thing called Thonny, which makes it really, really nice for a non-coder. So Thonny is just online. You can basically learn Python for beginners. So any kind of script that it makes, basic scripts that it makes in AI, you can download this to either Windows or Mac, and it has Python built into it. So you just kind of run it. You drop that script in there, and you can run it. I'll talk about a couple things, but for the most part, once you get a couple of the libraries set up for MIDI things, you basically just make that and then drop it in there. And the way Claude is set up right now, it's kind of like ChatGPT, but the way it's set up, it'll actually just make the .py file that you can just open in Thonny and run it. So I do want to show you the script I made. Because I'll just put it in my GitHub, and then you can download it. I'll put it in the description, and you can just run it once you download Thonny. So it's not like you have to do any programming or anything like that. So all you have to do is open up. This is a script I made with Claude, and basically it wrote all of this, and I didn't have to do anything to it. I had to kind of ask it to do a couple things every once in a while, but nothing crazy. So the only thing to note is that MIDIO is something that it uses a lot. It's basically a library, and if you don't know library, it's basically like a lot of stuff going on in the background that is kind of running, so you don't have to write as much code. For these scripts, a lot of it's MIDIO, so if it doesn't work, it's probably going to be looking for this. And then all you have to do is go up into Tools and Manage Package, and write MIDIO up here. It's right here. Click on it, and I've already have it installed, but you just hit install. It installs it. and then you never have to install it again. So if you get a little error at the end, then that's basically what it'll tell you, what error's out, and then you'll just have to import that. But there's very few of them that you'll need for these types of things that I'm kind of messing with right now. So, and then all you have to do is hit this run. And then this popped up on my other screen, but this is basically what comes up. It actually even makes something that you can click on, almost like a software. Here's the cool part. So here's my list of all my MIDI files that I downloaded online. You want to select your folder. So this is that folder. So I just choose that folder, and then it starts to go through each one of those files. The cool thing about this is what it's doing is it's going through. It's, of course, taking the drum track, which is channel 10 usually, and here it'll say channel 9, but in your device it'll be channel 10, and then it's going to basically find the four channels with the most events, basically the most information, and pick those and delete all the other channels. And then what it'll do is it actually will assign this, if it's not already channel 1, 2, 3, and 4, it will assign it to that. It'll remap it. So like here you can see it got remapped from 4. So just for your knowledge, when in the coding sense, MIDI channels 0, 1, 2, 3 on a device like a drum machine would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and this would be channel 10. And so the thing I like about this is I use hardware synths and things like that. I know that there's going to be information on 1 through 4 and 10, and that's all I have to kind of look for. It's taking all these MIDI files that I found online and just grinding through them. And the other cool thing it's doing, it's looking for a channel that has basically all its notes under C3, which would basically be your bass line. And then it automatically assigns it to channel 2 if it's not already there. So the nice thing about this software too is that it basically will just ditch all the tracks that have no information at all, which is really neat. The last thing that this thing does, which is pretty fun, is that one file that had just one track with all the information, when it finds it, it's called a MIDI file type 0, and that is going to be converted into MIDI file type 1, and that will take those, it'll take 5 channels just like it's doing to the other ones, and it'll actually make it into a track. So what we can do is we can go to this folder now and look at it, and made a folder called, it just makes it in the parent wherever the files were, it just puts those in there. So these type 0s are the ones that were one channel. This is the channel I dropped in earlier. So if I bring up Ableton and I bring up, let me just bring up that one that I showed you earlier. This has the 5 tracks. And then what we'll do is we'll take the original track that was down here somewhere, and this is what the original looked like. So this is the original, and then this is basically, let's delete all this junk. This is from before. This is the original track, and then these are the other ones. So if I play this, if I play this, it'll actually play all this separate. This is just MIDI information right now, but it separated all those out and basically made it into one file. This is a cool track, but it was kind of unusable in Ableton until I could have used it. And then, so if we go and grab, so those are all the ones that were MIDI file type 0. So these are all files that were one track. So when you're going to look for MIDI files, now you don't have to think about, well, is this one going to just have one track or it's going to have all the tracks? It'll just separate all that for you. So if we go back and we do Blue Monday again, Blue Monday, this is Blue Monday the before. You can see there's a lot of tracks. And then this is the type 1 version is going to be in here. Blue Monday is the type 1. And if you drop it in here, it's the 5 tracks. So like you remember seeing all of those tracks, there was like 16 tracks, and now it just picked the drum track and then 4 other tracks and ended up making just a shorter version of all of that, and it kind of picked all of the tracks that had the most events. The thing I also I liked about it too is that I was obsessed with was that I want these all to be in the same MIDI channels, right? So this bass line will be channel 2, and I know that. So when I set up my devices, I can do that, and then channel 1, it's not perfect, right? So what it's going to do is go look for all these things. Some will have 2 channel 1s, and some will have 2 channel 2s. You can manipulate it some more if you like, but for me, it's most of the time it's finding a bass line or a bass channel, and it's finding 3 other channels that had a lot of information and putting it in there, and it kind of can do a lot with it. I'm going to make another video after this where I'm going to take some of these files and even manipulate them even more. But the fact that it just went through and took all those MIDI files and basically changed every single one of these in, whatever that was, 10 seconds is pretty cool. Like it took all these tracks that had lots of tracks with just a couple notes in them and just eliminated them all, and then just reassigned all the MIDI channels. So I don't know, if you like this type of stuff, just know that you just have to really download Thonny. I will make this file available and put this file and have it available. You just take it, open it up in Thonny, make sure to install Midio, and you can roll, and you can make all the files that you want. Go find all the MIDI files that you want. It'll crank them all down into 5 tracks and actually reassign the channels too. So hopefully you like this, and just keep an eye out for more, and please comment. Like, I am not a pro in any manner for any of this. I just figure I'd put this out there in case there's people out there that really wanted to do stuff with MIDI files, or always wanted to do this and just didn't know how, or didn't want to jump into all the AI stuff. This is out there now, so I'll just keep on trying to make these and just make short little videos about why I made it, and I'll just kind of keep on putting Python scripts out there, and if people want to use them, they can. Just know that it's a lot easier than you think, and you don't have to be a coder to use it. So until next time, just keep on using MIDI, and I'll be excited to hear from you, and just let me know in the comments, of anything that you would like to see, or if there's something that you want me to make. Realistically, I might be able to make some of these things and kind of make something happen. What I'm working on right now is just making MIDI players and MIDI editors and things like that. So if that's something you're interested in, just leave a comment, and I'll try to make something for you if you want something specific to be made. All right, thanks. Bye.